Good morning. This is Father John Higgins. I'm at St. Raymond's Catholic Church in Downey, California. This morning I thought I'd talk just a little bit about Father Richard Altman. I don't know him. I haven't ever met him. And I have to say, it's going to be very interesting watching what happens in this case because Father Altman has said that if you vote Democrat, you're in big trouble, and that Democrats are in big trouble with the Lord. Now, I know that priests are not supposed to endorse candidates. I know that priests are not supposed to align themselves with a political party. When people ask me if I'm a Democrat or a Republican, I say I'm a monarchist. Monarchist, they say. That means you believe there's a king. I said, yeah, Jesus Christ. He's the king of creation. So when we talk about politics, as priests, we need to talk about morals as how they affect human beings. And it's very, very clear that priests have a right and a responsibility to do this. So do bishops. So does the Pope. Many people don't know, but in 1933, the German bishops excommunicated all Nazis. Everybody who wore an armband with a swastika, anybody who had a swastika flag, anybody who displayed a swastika in their home. If they were Catholic, they were excommunicated. Now, bishops cannot excommunicate Protestants because they're not part of the Catholic Church. But the bishops excommunicated all Nazis in 1933 in Germany. After the Reichskordat, which was the empire concord with the Vatican, that excommunication was lifted. And although personally, many years later, sitting here in Downey, California, far, far away, I think that was a mistake, but I wasn't there when the bishops and the Pope made that decision, so I can't judge them for that. I can, however, judge the actions of Nazis. I can judge that Nazis were not very, well, I'll just go right ahead and say it. I disagree with everything that the Nazis believed in. But I know that the early brown shirts, the early movement of the National Socialists in Germany started with a group of men who were afraid, who were financially wrecked, who were standing up for what they thought was justice and protecting their families, their city, their nation from the evils of communism. They thought they were doing the right thing. Of course, everybody who does the wrong thing, well, I think most of us have made excuses that the wrong thing was really the right thing at the time. I don't agree with what they did, but I understand how they got there. I understand that they were afraid, they felt persecuted. World War I had left Germany in wreckage and in horrible debt. People were having to take a wheelbarrow full of money to get one loaf of bread. And so there was a lot of unrest in Germany, and the Germans turned to a leader who was a good speaker, who said the right things, who made many, many promises, and actually did some good things for Germany by building highways and starting the manufacture of Volkswagens. Now, I'm not agreeing with Hitler, but I'm saying those kinds of things were how he got into power. People voted for him. He was never really elected, but they voted for his party, because they were convinced that that was the right thing to do at the time. The same is true here in the United States. We have a very deep divide in our country between people who have believed that the Democrats are doing a great job, others believe that Trump is doing a great job, others believe that Biden and Harris will do great jobs. They believe in their Congress people that they vote for, they believe in their city management if they vote for them. Some of them are very angry, some of them are very happy, and there's this huge divide, and we see it on the news. Now, I don't watch secular news much anymore, but I have watched the news in the past, and I do read the newspaper sometimes. And I see there's a horrible divide, and I see it on my posts in Facebook. I see people posting various and sundry opinions about how things are going. And I think some people have really gone to the extreme on both sides. Some people are ready to get out their guns and start shooting at protesters, and other people are thinking about burning down cities. I think both of those are wrong answers. But we have to look at the political campaign and the platform of both parties. We have to look at what each person who is running for office really believes, not just what they say, but what they say and what their actions are. We could look at, for example, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We can go look at President Trump and Vice President Pence. We can see what they believe and what their actions are. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Trump just hates people and he lies. And other people are going to say, Biden is just too old and he doesn't know what he's doing. There are a lot of people with a lot of opinions about this. But I think we need to look at Catholic Church teaching about moral theology and compare it to what the candidates themselves say and do. This is not something we should be deciding by emotions and feelings. I know sometimes I feel one way or another, and if my actions depended on my feelings, often there'd be horrible traffic accidents on the freeway. So I can't trust my feelings in everything. But I can trust the teaching of the Catholic Church in the matters of faith and morals. And what do our morals and what do our faiths say to us as we approach this voting season, this campaign season? Can we vote for someone who blatantly ignores the teachings of the Catholic Church in morals? I think we can vote for somebody who ignores the Catholic Church in faith because they may be Protestant and they have different faith, but it's the morals that really count because that's what is passed on to legislation. And some people will say, well, we can't insert our morals into legislation. What? That's just absolutely crazy. We believe that murder is immoral, so there's a law against murder. We believe that running down the street at 50 miles an hour in your car, driving down the street at 50 miles an hour is dangerous, it's immoral, so we have laws against doing that. All law is based on the morals of society, on the ethics of society. There are laws in place to protect people. And sometimes those laws are very moral and sometimes they're not. Sometimes our laws are passed that give permission for immoral actions, or laws are passed in societies and cultures that actually are immoral. For example, let's think of some. In Germany, there were laws against Jews. And that's horribly immoral, that Jews could not do this. Jews must be turned over to the state. There was a law, there was a law, there was a law. And those laws were immoral. There were immoral laws in the United States about where black people could go, or Latino people could go, where they could not go. And it took us a long time, well, in the face of history, not so long, but 150, 160 years before we took a deep, hard look at racism and so forth in our legal system. And I think most of us would agree that we should not be racist against anybody at all, that race should not play a part in law. Of course, there are other people who are currently saying that one ethnic group is to blame for everything. And I disagree with that completely. We can't blame Latinos. We can't blame people of color of any kind. And let's not blame one particular group for anything, or even a group of groups for anything. This is gross overgeneralization. So those who are spouting off ideas about violence, racist remarks, anti-American slogans about the culture of death and the culture of cancel, I think we need to take a long, hard look at how does that fit into our Catholic morality? How does it fit into our Christian lives? Does it at all? fit into our Christian lives? I doubt seriously if it would fit into your Christian life, would it? Hopefully, we can look at the moral values of our church, the moral values of Christianity, and compare them with what's going on in our nation today. I hope this, let me hold on a second. My computer did something crazy here, and I'm hoping to get back so I don't have to record this whole thing all over again. Nope, it's not going to do it. So I've got to cancel out of this. Nope, maybe I don't. I just came back online. Sorry for that. My computer went into freeze mode, and I hope we're still recording. But anyway, let's compare the moral teaching of Jesus, the moral teaching of our church, with what's going on in society today, and see if we can agree with any of it. And how do we vote based on not just what we feel, but what we truly believe as Christians? God bless. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.